You excited for this game winner?
Yeah, this game is very, very important for Fnatic, and they just came off a really bad loss. I'm actually very worried for them.
Wow.
They are probably demoralized. So we are having issues finding this game on Dota TV. If you're finding issues too, you need to find a friend that is watching the game already, which is pretty unlikely, but that seems to be the only way.
I followed my friend that was in the game.
Everyone add WinteR.
Everybody add WinteR.
Everyone add WinteR.
So here we go. We're already into the draft. Finished on up here. Medusa is going to be one of the picks, which is pretty exciting at this point in time. Are you guys pretty curious about this one?
Not that great versus Razor, though. I will tell you that. It's not good versus Anti-Mage. It's not good versus PL. It is not good versus... I think Ursa is also really good. It's also not good versus Razor. Razor just sucks all your damage, and you're already at a damage deficit because of split shot. But...
They have ice armor as well, though.
Yes.
So dual very much bad things going on here for Team Fnatic. A little bit unfortunate start. They do have Shadow Demon as well, though, so kind of an interesting little combination of heroes. That's a pretty nice setup there if you're going to be able to get the disruption into a Light Strike array. So some nice little synergy there.
Are they actually laning black on middle lane, you guys think?
It's not a bad matchup. That Snake does a lot of damage. I played her a couple times in 6.85, and it's actually.
Do you actually go
ridiculous.
these items when you're mid?
Yeah, why not? You want Basti. You want Basti like I'd say almost every game.
So you think it's better than starting with a Wraith Band? Then you get more damage with the Wraith Band.
Yeah, I think it's a better side lane build. Yeah, you're right. Better mid build is Wraith Band. Better side lane.
How about the Lina? Did he start mid items on the Lina?
Yes, she did. And it's Mushi. So that's a yes.
Gonna be playing that one. Looking like they're gonna contest the top rune, and actually might get both of them. I don't think they can do that.
Both the runes.
They smoked on up and were able to move on through the jungle, also blocking off a couple of camps throughout their way. So
they got one really deep. The ward in middle lane is gonna make. I think Lina's gonna be able to dominate the Shadow Fiend more with the vision on the high ground. That's really crucial for him.
It's kind of interesting here. Razor in the top lane. Meanwhile, you got Darkseer down bottom, and then a couple of the supports just hanging out mid, wanting to give a little bit of help. And Diane is just going to sit on over here and be a tool for a little while.
I think Lich is going top. He just used Sacrifice in middle lane, and then he's going to return to top.
Dude, are we ever going to not have 4 heroes mid when Mushi's playing?
Just want to get him out to a good start.
Mid.
It's 2v2.
Yeah.
Sometimes even 3v2.
I feel like this matchup down bottom should be pretty Darkseer favored. What do you guys think about that matchup?
I agree.
Super Darkseer favored, actually.
Very frustrating. And Ohio, he is just moving around here and fighting up with Night Stalker.
He wants to stop that stack.
Pretty nice there, being able to do that. They've really messed up the sort of economy of this Shadow Fiend. They've already blocked out one of the camps off to the side. They do have this one as well, the pole camp blocked. So I feel like they're in a really great position across the board. It's just going to come down to how well they're going to be able to deal with the top lane here.
I mean, they can't really do that much pressure. The best they can do is just the knife farm with Lich, and Razor can pick up the scraps of whatever is left in the lane.
I think it's very hard for them to, make the Medusa have no farm at all. I think Medusa with the pool camp available, while Ohio is really trading really hard with.
He has a Mango. He's good.
He's got a Mango and a Salve.
He almost has more HP, even though it looks like he's limping.
Yeah. Those decay stacks on up there, that's really
they're going to be able to remove that ward. That is really important for them.
And he gets the efficient Tango.
Yep, more reason.
Super Tango. Oh, they're closing in on Ohio.
He doesn't have mana though. Double Iron Shell. They might be able to get this kill.
He has Mango, dude.
Oh, jeez. Walk away. Just walk away. Snowball is up as well. They could potentially turn this one here. No, not going to be able to do it first.
Why didn't he snowball him in?
Oh, God. I don't know if they're going to be able to get ice here either.
Yeah, they might be able to kill DJ as well.
Are you kidding me?
They have another Void.
Oh,
he has to snowball to the high ground or some shit. Oh no.
Why didn't he snowball with the Undying?
That tilting. That's about it.
Oh, jeez. Do you feel like that plays a pretty big role in these games when you just lose one that you really didn't want to go?
It affects a lot of your mental state, Like being a player, your mental state has to be in perfect condition for you to be able to make the right decisions. So looking at the other lanes, Razor is doing same CS as Medusa. I think that's not too bad.
Yeah, and it's not bad at all.
Shadow Fiend is expected to be a bit behind because of the early ward, but it's Radiant Shadow Fiend. You don't mind being behind. You're going to be able to catch up as long as
you do if you can't stack.
That's true. This is going to be the first stack that they got.
Yeah, they're fine. They removed the ward, so it's gonna be okay for them. The only thing that missed out was probably just one stack at the early stage.
And at this point, Ohio feel like he's really behind on this Undying here. Level 2, but you really want to be able to get more out of this hero, I feel like, at this stage in the game.
And their dual lane is against the Darkseer. I don't think there's too much they can do to try and kill the Darkseer. As long as the Darkseer keeps iron shelling, you push the creep wave out, you make sure that you don't put yourself in too near to those two heroes, and you should be able to push your lane and farm jungle pretty safely as Darkseer. So laning phase wise, I think so far looking okay for the safe lane. Top lane is even in terms of CS between the Razor and the Medusa.
A little bit more damage being dealt out here. Black's doing okay. He's farming pretty well.
I think this would be more favored for Fnatic since Medusa is the true hard carry, whereas Razor is much more the lane dominator, so you have to be ahead.
I don't really think that Medusa's that great this late game though. They can even replica her with a scepter in the super late game if it gets to that point, right? Like, and she gets a split shot. At the same time, they do have a Shadow Demon to make extra images, but I mean, look at her damage right now. She's sitting at -94.
Alright, top lane here.
And I feel like this is going to be a constant problem for Black this entire game.
This is haste rune. Maybe he'll kill here? No, he's just going to turn around. Thought about it at least.
7-6 charges on Darkseer. It's tough.
This lane is, I don't really expect them to be able to get any kills on the Darkseer unless the Darkseer makes a mistake. As long as he just pushes the wave out, make sure that he's far enough from the two heroes, he should always be fine in this lane. Whereas the top lane, do you think the Razor is actually doing enough against this Medusa? Or
I think so.
Breaking even is fine for you?
I think breaking even is fine. Because if Shadow Demon doesn't move, if Shadow Demon moves, then he should be able to dominate the Medusa. But he's always going to be testing to see where the Shadow Demon is. You just constantly static.
I just kind of expected them to be ahead because they have Lich and Razor.
Right.
I mean, I guess not blocking the pull cam is what is affecting the lane the most, because Fnatic able to use the pull cam, so the CS wise Medusa is able to be on par with the Razor most of the time.
Uh-oh. Need to do a little bit of switch over maybe to the other thing while I go offline.
Okay. You can cut to my camera, Rolando.
Is it switched over?
Yep.
Alright, cool.
Stop having such an obvious team, Lyrical.
Oh my goodness.
Get some Smurfs. Have 10 other accounts with the same profile picture.
Come, I'll do it. Shift tab. Do it in smart com. Anyway, go there.
Looking at the early graphs, 1,000 for 1, 2, 3. I would say actually most of that is because of just the Lich and of course the 2 kills that they have in the early game. We see a little bit of stacking coming out for net.
Yeah, it's still popping out
top.
even after we put it offline. So just give it a minute.
You can just disable the notifications.
WinteR is such a good guy. Everybody loves him so much. They just wanted to see it.
Okay, we'll just use bans until my notifications finish.
You're too popular, man.
Smoke on up towards the middle lane. Looks like they might be trying to make something happen here to go and take out any stacks that are in the jungle, but there aren't really any over here, so putting themselves into harm's way a little bit maybe? No, they're fine. Just be able to walk over
They
here.
should be able to get a pick off here on the Shadow Demon since they're coming in from behind.
He's
They have a
surrounded by
ward.
4 heroes.
They have a ward as well.
God.
He's dead, there's no chance.
Blown up.
Well, this is not the start that Fnatic wanted at all. It's really looking rough. And now they're going to be able to come on over here and pressure this tower. I don't think Medusa can stay under here anymore. She needs to back off, I feel like.
I think the early game is actually supposed to be pretty strong with Undying into Tusk. But not really able to do that much at all.
Alright. Well, Ohio now trying to get a couple of levels. Already up to level 4, but Darkseer is doing a really great job as well so far. God.
Chrissy's level 6. This is when they need to start getting kills.
Alright, Razor.
SF is here as well though. I'm not sure if they want to
No,
take
they
this fight.
definitely don't. They want him to actually leave the lane though.
Alright, rotation back to mid. Shadow Fiend's just going to take over this lane again and do whatever he can to push out these waves consistently. He's been getting a decent amount, but Lena's been sort of free to do whatever she wants in this lane, I feel like. And I think it's going to come down to Mushi to really turn this back around for Fnatic.
I would
Already
say
level
it's
8.
a lot on Tusk too. Tusk
Yeah.
realized that Shadow Fiend has TP to the mid lane and they have a deep observer ward that are looking out at the Night Stalker just a couple of seconds left until daytime.
This could be a hit. Snowball in, gonna be able to catch him there. Shards as well, Walrus Punch, and that's gonna be a nice little Lina getting a kill.
I wonder if they're gonna actually try and make a move for this stack. It seems very dangerous. Shadow Fiend with a DD on the backside.
Yeah, if they stick around too long, well, DJ moving in. We do have Mushi here as well. Snowball back up. Oh, got fogged. He did try to go for it there. Shards isn't going to connect. He is still in the area with the Ion Shell up there. It's really scary. But you do have Laguna Blade up, so there's certainly a potential for a lot of damage to come out in a second. And no Dazzle on this team this time around. He's going to be still a little bit vulnerable to that Lina.
Darkseer is having a great time on this bottom lane. And I mean, with the Tusk there and on a Dying, you can't really harass him out at all. So I don't really like this early game coming out.
Yeah, and Mushi is going for the build that I was talking about as well.
The Bloodstone Rush?
He's going to get Bloodstone first, more likely so, because he went for the Arcane Boots first.
Yeah.
It's the build that he always favors, because he told me that he actually prefers it because he's going to get use and Bloodstone at a faster timing, usually because he's very focused on, if you focus on just farming your stacks and pushing out lanes. And sometimes he feels that if you go for the use too early, you make an aggressive play and you get punished. So it's much more of a safer item choice.
Some insider knowledge here. I really like that though. I think that
I mean, every player has their own preference, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's if you're really calculated and you have a lot of discipline, like when you see a TP, you just immediately back, or you know your limits very well. I think a Yule's build is far more rewarding. But as you mentioned, it is a lot safer to go for the Bloodstone first.
Yeah.
Just keep your HP up.
I don't think there's any right or wrong. It's just about preference and what you actually want to do in the game.
well, and augmenting, like you said, what you want to do in the game, augmenting your play style to what your build is there, and sort of leveraging that to make it.
They really want to get a kill on the SF though, but they're always getting the Night Stalker.
I mean, a little bit of a mix-up there. Should still get the kill, but it was a little bit sloppy. Dark's here now as well, taking a good amount of damage. Razor's here. They're all falling so low. A couple more hits, and we're going to end up seeing Mushi and DJ going down. Razor's in the area. Nightlight Striker ready to be able to create a little bit of space.
They could have gotten one more extra kill if they didn't have to blow the Laguna.
DD is up on Shadow Fiend. They need to create some separation. Tusk is going to fall. Double raise. Oh, God. Well,
I think they didn't need a disrupt. I think they just wanted a quick kill and then boom, they would have had better positioning.
But it also came down to communication. If they wanted to disrupt, then you just use your stun and slave.
Yeah,
they look tilted. They really did.
Yeah, but I agree. In that position, because they were on the high ground, there was no way that the Night Stalker would have dodged away from the stun.
Yeah.
So it was a 100% stun. Like you're gonna hit it. So the disruption was unnecessary.
You get that kill, and then you immediately back off towards your team, wait for cooldowns, and then
you can use disrupt to save your team after. So it was, I agree. It's better.
They wasted too much time.
It was actually better to not use the disrupt for sure.
Really unfortunate there.
Definitely tilting. It feels like.
Yeah.
Good thing he's going Bloodstone.
There you go. I mean, he got a kill there. He did use Laguna. It's back up again in a second here. Still pretty low cooldown.
They haven't really transitioned that much into a successful daytime. You really want to, take this time to recoup the losses from the first night.
I mean, again, the big thing here is that Medusa hasn't really been pressured. Like, she has gotten a decent amount of her farm denied from Lich.
Though, man.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. You don't need to pressure her because she farms so slowly.
It's not like AM or Alchemist where you feel
bottom
pressured.
lane, going to be able to get a kill on the Razor as well. Laguna Blade using a Walrus Punch. Nicely done there. But here we go. Night Stalker coming in. Oh, God. I'm not sure if that's worth... Oh, man. Lina currently...
If they lose the Tusk as well, then it's not worth.
He has TP up in 13. I don't think he can make it out of here.
He has to make some
miracle
snowball. He needs some miracle snowball.
Or is he going to be able to make this happen, though? Getting kind of fogged out. One raise, two. Nice snowball. Going to be able to
got it on the range creep?
Yeah. Oh, no. He went on a Shadow Fiend. Yeah, he's dead.
This is looking
You saw Mushi ping out on the neutral creeps, wanting him to snowball down
but
on the
he didn't have vision. Yeah.
You can walk over there. Walk over here, get
walk over there, yeah.
That would have been the miracle snowball play you were looking for.
Really too bad. And now nighttime again. This could be really bad here. You are able to get the disrupt off there. Lina's in the area. Light Strike Array.
Need to get some bloody block.
In range. Wanted it. Does hit the Light Strike Array onto the Shadow Fiend, but to what end? Yeah, you take a look at this. I mean, net worth across the board. 2K. It's not insurmountable at this point, but you start to give these leads away, and it becomes really hard to come back from them.
The thing is, if you go fall behind against Night Stalker, you are going to be pressured in terms of vision control as well. And they do not have like a Venom or a Beastmaster to help them control the vision. So if you fall too far behind against NS, it's going to be really hard for them to actually farm in the map, because they need farm on like both of their heroes, the Lina and the Medusa.
Yeah.
So Medusa looks like she's going for sort of a hybrid build.
Yasha, Skadi.
Yasha and Scotty at the same time.
So maybe a little bit more for fighting. Is that why you go with this, or more farming?
It's more defensive. I would say, with
Tanky.
the
He wants to be
Medusa.
tanky, so
Yeah.
he survives the gang.
If you go Yasha, you have a very high chance of dying. But if you just go point booster first or ulti orb, it slows down your farm a lot. so
Would you
it's
actually complete the Manta first or go for the Skadi?
I think Scotty first. Actually, I'd go Yasha first and see how it goes from there. You don't know how hard 1-2-3 is going to pressure. They might, play defensively and get Razor really fat, in which case you would want to have Yasha, or they might get the early mech and then start pushing down towers a lot. But it looks like the early mech is
Stun? Is the early mech done on the Dark Seal?
coming
soon?
pretty soon, yeah.
Does look like Shadow Fiend's going BKB first as well.
And the early game was too weak, I think, for them to get away with 4v5ing in the mid game. I think if the scores were reversed and it were 8 kills for Fnatic, then he can just go with whatever build he wants, because he doesn't actually need to help his team.
Basically, his team needs him to fight right now
Yeah,
because
they
they are
do.
far behind. So he needs to have a build that would allow him to farm and fight at the same time.
You can also just go drums, right? You can go drums instead of the Yasha. It's kind of a
Hello.
It's kind of a. It helps you farm. It helps you fight.
I don't think he likes to go drums.
Yeah, I think it's a build that some Medusas prefer at this juncture.
Yeah. All right, DJ taking a lot of damage down here. Nice disruption, keep him alive a little bit longer, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. That's a kill. Razor just tearing people apart at this point in time in the game. Really, really frustrating.
That's not
to play
good when your
against.
Medusa has a TP like this, and then you sacrifice your tower top. That's sacrificing your jungle and Medusa's farm at the same time.
They are just feeling too much pressure. That's why they needed to make that rotation. And Medusa was not farming against the SF in the lane because he didn't have support at top. So he felt like he wasn't doing anything at top. So why not just join the team, which is also at the same time detrimental towards the whole team because they are losing map control.
He can just snake the lane, right, and hold the tower.
Yeah, I
He has
mean,
max snake.
because like you mentioned, he needs to help the team because they are far behind. So he felt compliant when something happened. He wanted to TP and immediately respond to it.
Instead of making the rational decision
Yeah.
that he needs farm.
So what's the answer here? Do we try and go all out fight for this one, or do we just keep on keeping the status quo? I feel like you're getting continuously picked off
I think
at
you
this point for Fnatic.
you smoke during daytime.
I think
or
they
you
have to
smoke
try to fight though with the
Yeah.
tombstone. If they just keep doing this, they're losing out on so much on the whole map.
Their heroes are geared for being strong, I think, like 1 through 10, as well as like maybe 35
15?
plus.
Yeah, maybe around even up to minute 15.
Well, not with this start. But yeah, 1 through 15, and then way later
Yeah.
when Medusa peaks. But they lost the early game, which is
Yeah.
going to mean that window is even smaller.
They are not supposed to lose the
Yeah.
early game with these heroes.
They really
Oh no.
A little bit of caught out off to the side. They used a smoke for this as well. Are going to have to use the ice shards defensively, but that is going to create a little bit of separation. All right, that's okay. It's
Net?
smoke for each team. Oh, are they going to be able to actually catch him here? Disruption, keeping him alive a little bit longer. He's still running. This Lich is just not afraid at this point.
They weren't afraid to smoke during daytime because they just completed the mech on Dark Suit.
Yeah.
And Fnatic will not be having a mech
Wait, is
for
he
a
going
very
Yules?
long time. Yeah, he's going use. He's changed his build.
Okay.
He has the components, the other components. I think he felt like he can't really go for the greedy build anymore, like the
What-
more farming.
Do you need a Yulza when you have a Shadow Thief on your team? This early, I feel like.
For the silence, I guess, you want to be able to remove the silence in case you get
That's a good point. Yeah.
if you get caught by NS. Maybe that's what he's actually feeling as well, because SD and TUS so far are having a lot of trouble in team fights. Like we didn't really see any successful defensive play so far from both of the SD and the TUS.
All right, they've committed Tombstone down here. Medusa has finished off her Yasha as well, so while she's not as tanky, does still have that point booster, so a little bit better than nothing.
I think the more important part is she needs to just make sure that if a team fight were to happen, as long as she's able to drop her ultimate on top of that, to actually secure his team's retreat in case anything turns really bad.
Yeah.
That's why she's very needed in the pushes right now.
Well, they've been able to turn this into 2 tower kills so far. It's 2 across the board for each team. could be going worse, but really it's the kills and the net worth. You would expect them to be further ahead considering this Undying.
They're still doing fine though, Lyrical. Like if you look at the net worth, Medusa and Lina is like 1.5k behind the Shadow Fiend. That is actually not too bad as a result of the recent towers that I actually managed to take. But the other thing is they need to be able to make use of the Tusk and the Undying to actually take and win a fight, because these two heroes are not very good at farming and pushing out lanes. They need to get their net worth by actually winning fights, taking successful engagements. Otherwise, they can't really progress in terms of net worth.
Tusk has been able to build up 2,400 gold, so potentially a Blink Dagger here.
I think he's going for Blink. They actually need initiation though.
I don't know if they have enough damage, especially with Frost Armor.
With
and
Lina, I guess, if they manage to find a solo pick-off, they can
Ohio's
burst
here.
one target down.
Looks like they might be going for the Lich. Changing it out, taking the Razor out of the fight for a second. The Lich does end up falling. Eye of the Storm popped as well. Is going to be able to TP away, though. So good awareness, quick pick-off. Oh, DJ and Net might be in a little bit of trouble now, though.
Wants to go in.
Oh, Vacuum Wall going to catch him on out. Shadow Demon ends up falling. Tusk soon to follow. Is silenced up. Does have a little bit of a retreat here, potentially. No, he ends up falling as well.
Mushi is still there. They're chasing with the NS. Well, he's fast enough.
He has Yules.
Yeah, he's fast enough. Oh, what was that all about? Like, one guy TP'd out and the other two decide to go back in because the Lina is coming in.
It looked really good for a second there. If they were able to just walk away from that one, certainly could have been a great pick-off, taking out the Lich quickly. And
yeah, it's just a Lich kill at the end of the day, and it's your Blink reveal on the Tusk.
That's a good point.
So it's like...
They wanted to get more out of that.
Ideally, you kill, I think, probably Shadow Fiend, but he has BKB. So
But then you wouldn't want the Undying to TP out, wouldn't you?
you would.
Mid
Here we
lane.
go. Going to be able to catch it. One more right click. Mushi gets a kill. It's the Night Stalker. Meanwhile, their bottom lane is being pushed in as well. Tower going to go down pretty soon here.
They're still getting really good farm on the cost though. Even though they're under a lot of pressure. They're keeping up in terms of net worth. And Razor is actually not as farm as I actually expected, because his team is actually, they're in a really good position. I actually expected the Razor to have more net worth than this.
Mechanism up, Vacuum back. Shadow Fiend's here as well. Not sure if they're going to have the follow-up. Undying is going to TP away.
Do they have stuns? No. Huh. So they didn't actually get any kills from that, and Medusa is actually able to use that time to actually keep farming. And so do you still go for the straight rate like Skadi here,
I
Ben?
think you go Scotty. What are your other options here? Manta, which you don't really need this early.
Doesn't Manta allow you to farm faster? Because you can actually spread your illusions with split shot everywhere.
Yeah, but your illusions
Your
don't do enough damage, so you can't actually kill any creeps. You
So
can maybe kill like
Skadi
Scorpions.
would be a better choice here.
Scotty,
Net
so they can take
silenced down
towers
in
I
the
feel
bottom
like.
lane. They're going to be able to take him on out. Now, are they going to be able to find the Tusk as well? He's going to be able to make his way out of here. Blinks off to the side, TP away. They do know he's here, but not in an area quick enough to be able to get that vacuum off.
If you go Scotty, you can like siege towers, I think, really easily, and not really have to worry about Night Stalker jumping you. But
Top lane, are they going to get the kill on the
Walrus
SF?
punch immediately, nicely done. Blinks is revealed again, so they already knew about this. There's the BKB popped and the Death
that's
Requiem.
good.
That's a huge
That
kill.
is a huge kill. Was
Really
that a
nicely
10
done.
second BKB as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, the Lina is so farm all of a sudden. Like, she got the couple of pickoffs and now she's almost going to take over the Shadow Fiend. I think with the Shadow Fiend's 40-second death timer, the Lina is going to be the on top of the net worth very
Well, one of
soon.
the big things that you ended up seeing there was that throughout the laning stage, Shadow Fiend was trying to move around. They didn't get a ton of stacks off in the very early game, and she was just able to stay in lane and farm, and able to get a couple of pickoffs now. She did die twice, but is 4-2-1 with 150 last hits. It's not terrible.
She got a lot of last hits because of the build she went. Arcane Boots plus Soaring and such.
Do they need early BKBs?
You mean on the Razor and SF?
yeah, can they just get like a Glimmer Cape on someone and then
Black
just
mid
go
lane.
more tanky?
Black
for
is
them?
in trouble.
I
A
guess
little bit of
what?
damage. Lots coming out. Mana Shield is completely gone now. That's a kill on top of Medusa.
But he didn't manage to get the gaze. I think he got silenced. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
got
got
silenced.
silenced.
So you feel like it's better to get Glimmer Cape. Like, who do you get it on? Darkseer? You get a Glimmer Cape on Darkseer? 'Cause
Maybe you get Glimmer on Darkseer and then get Mech on SF, and then you don't have to build BKB if you're in team fights. You can just counterplay the Disruption or the Yules. Because the BKBs, like, it didn't save him from the fight. They can't split push out lanes.
BKB blocks very minimal stuff. Blocks snowball, the eye shots damage, and
Lina combo.
Lina combo. And the other three heroes don't really care about BKB. The Shadow Demon, Dusa, and Undying.
Night Stalker's hunting down in the bottom lane is going to find Shadow Fiend. Crippling Fear down, a couple more right clicks. He might be in a little bit of trouble here. He could get the disruption off. He's able to get it. Yes, nice. And TP away in a second. Net, you going to be able to get out of there? Yeah, he should be good. Unless Night Stalker finds him. He's out. It looks like Undying might be going for Midas here, potentially. He's got gloves of haste.
Looks like it. They're just in it for the long game, hoping Dusa can hold. And Lina.
All right, Yule's up onto the
BKB.
Razor.
Yes,
Could be a
BKB.
big kill.
It's
Oh,
fine.
nice. Turn that back
Although the
around.
Tombstone is going to actually trap him around that area, he's going to be slowed. Shots, maybe
Requiem.
blocking him.
Requiem coming out, lots of damage. Actually, not a ton. There's the snowball. Is going to be able to go onto the Razor, I believe. Stone Gaze, vacuum back. Walrus Punch down again. That's going to be a catching a couple off to the side. Ben's going to fall on the Razor. Now we also see the Shadow Fiend dealing a lot of damage here, but he's completely and totally surrounded. The rest of his team abandoned him. Raise one time, but not enough damage.
Okay, Yamata. He was trying to BKB TP out, but he was facing Medusa and then got stoned. Wow. While he was trying to TP out. That is a really big shift in momentum. First, they get the kill on Shadow Fiend when he's out alone, and then they get him in this team fight.
They killed the Razor as well now.
Yeah,
So
and they kill the Razor.
when you build the BKBs, you want to win the fights.
Yeah.
You-
Please no BKB rush. Please. 1, 2, 3. Alternatively, they could have gotten like SNY or like drums plus mech. I don't know, any of those.
I mean, if they wanted to
combinations, right?
siege, they could have gone for the Aghanim's maybe early on Razor. It still gives you very good HP and armor stats, very good stats overall.
Oh, Mushi almost caught the Night Stalker there, but got a little bit juked.
I think the only way for them to win that fight is they time the Requiem plus the Vacuum.
They didn't even use vacuum wall, did they?
They did Vacuum, but it was after the Requiem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he was in a tree. So he was actually in a really good place
Yeah,
to.
it was
get
a
that
very good
combo.
position if the Darkseid was able to pull it off on the same time.
Yeah, he didn't have a blink though.
They were just a little
Yeah.
bit too spread out. They didn't have, like, it caught it at the very edge of it, so it wasn't really doing that maximum damage. DJ here does have one of the hammers. Is he going for Deso here?
Yep, he's going for that. He likes to go for that build.
Very
It's going to allow him, but usually I see him going for this build when he's ahead. This game he's not exactly ahead.
Could still be
Vacuum back.
BKB.
Snowballs now is going to be able to get dropped off to the side. Waiting for the Requiem, actually. Going to be able to go off. DJ ends up getting taken out. Lich with the last hit. Little nuke there with the
Still a
Frostblast.
very minor kill for 1-2-3 to have right now. So far, Fnatic have been able to get themselves back into the game after the last 2 engagements. Lina is probably going to build an Aghanim's next, so say goodbye to your early BKBs.
There we go. That's the play. She's coming on in to defend this. We also have Medusa in there. You blink back. Doesn't want to get caught out, but it looks like they're not going to be able to find any kills here.
And Medusa has completed Scotty. She is super tanky.
Yeah, this is kind of terrifying, honestly.
Can they even kill her with the combo from the back and
No,
the vacuum now?
absolutely not.
She's just way too tanky now.
Yeah.
As long as the disrupt is always there.
Even without disruption, she has like
She just needs mana
3,500
shield on.
HP.
Yeah, they need to get more items on the Razor and the Shadow Fiend.
So what looked like a really disastrous early game to some extent is actually turning around, and I feel like Fnatic has kind of felt their groove here. They've been able to execute well on a couple of team fights.
They were just gifted this opportunity though by 1-2-3 because 1-2-3 made a bad decision. Like it just takes one fight that you make a bad mistake and the whole game just turns around because they have such a lead and they built the early BKBs. Where every time when you build early BKBs, you need to make it work and make it pay for getting it that early. When you don't go for it, you don't go for it early and you just lose a fight. Because you could have went for something else to speed up your farming. BKB doesn't make you farm a lot faster.
Well, it looks like the Night Stalker does have that Aghanim Scepter on the way. Still about 1,000 or so gold away from picking it up. TP out. Oh, Void was close. They wanted it. Thankfully, Mushi able to make his way out of there and does have the bots up next. So
Wow, he's going full on. trying to have a lot of map presence, and the dagger is also going to allow him to get a lot of pickoffs potentially, or get out of sticky situations.
Is this going to be a problem that the BKBs are still up and he's not going to be able to combo necessarily, or do you think that it's okay here? Oh, Laguna Blade coming out. Ben taking a good amount of damage there.
What?
I'm not sure if this was
What's
the play.
going on?
Tusk is here. That's going to be a Chain Frost. Nice Yules to dodge it, but do they have enough backup here?
I think
Ends
he
up getting
did.
silenced. DJ might end up falling as well if he's not careful.
What was going on? There was no way he killed the Razor. He just blinked in and Slave and Laguna, and he got slowed by the passive from Razor. And
Yeah,
he just died.
maybe he didn't think he was going to get slowed by the passive. Like you can not click on the Razor.
No, but if you he clicked Laguna, he Laguna the Razor.
I mean, why? I don't know why.
I don't know.
I was like,
feel
okay,
ya.
maybe he can like slave and
No,
light
he,
strike to
he
harass.
blinked and he
Yeah.
dropped his ulti on the Razor.
I don't know. He has a lot of HP, 1700. Even with Scepter, I don't
Yeah,
think that's a
how
kill.
how is that even a kill?
Oh, Net's going to end up falling as well here. Turning it around a little bit. The roaming. I've seen 1, 2, 3 move around.
What is actually going on?
Are they still on tilt?
They are still on tilt.
Manta style picked up for the Shadow Fiend as well. Kind of an interesting pickup there. That is Tombstone dropped. It does look like a decent engagement here. They end up using up the Night Stalker. Still in the area. Wall is dropped. Laguna Blade again. They're creating a little bit of separation now. It looks like Undying got the last hit there, which is going to help his farm
Here
a little
comes a
bit.
snowball.
Oh, going forward. Tusk running around the other side. Shards are going to catch him on in as well, but I'm not sure if DJ's in a great position at this point. This side as well. Looks like they're trying to catch
He
somebody over
should be
there.
able to run towards his team.
Oh, there's Stone Gaze coming out. Is this initiation they want? BKB are popped. They're not turning into Face It. Shadow Fiend got the last hit on the Razor, and they're just going to disengage.
And what is actually going
What
on?
is going on?
The whole team was like disengaging and he was running in. I don't know what's going on. The whole team was like, after that fight, they just wanted to finish the Ancients and go back to farming, and he was the only one jumping forward to get the snowball.
When did Lina suicide?
Bloodstone suicide before when he
She's
was
suicide on the right side.
yeah,
Okay, got it.
when he was going for the YOLO play on the Razor.
Well, farming on up the enemy jungle. No big deal there. Does look like Manta is going to be the pickoff. She's actually really accelerated in farm.
Yeah, now Medusa's a problem.
Next item, Butterfly.
Butterfly, yep.
I'm a little bit surprised she was able to get this much farm. I mean, she wasn't really pressured in the lane that much, but still, I wasn't
She got a
expecting
lot
that.
of space though, honestly.
Yeah.
His whole team, even though are not doing that well, but they are always constantly distracting the enemy team into taking small skirmishes here and there. So Medusa was able to use, like Black was able to just use that ample time to be able to just catch up, keep farming, and keep her net worth just going up.
Which honestly they shouldn't have been able to get because of the poor start that they had, as well as like Undying building into a Midas and you know
Yeah.
all these other things that really should be punished.
And
but
they are even going for a pipe to actually help the Medusa survive in the team fights. Dying is building into a pipe, and possibly a solar quest coming from maybe the Shadow Demon later into the game. I think those items are really essential when you're running a Medusa lineup, where Medusa is always your frontline tank. You want to have all those buffing items for the Medusa.
Looks like they are going to be able to get this Roshan, though, and it doesn't look like Fnatic realize this is going on at all or going to opt to contest it. Shadow Fiend now does have Manta as well as BKB and Aegis. 3,800 gold in the bank.
I guess it's also Butterfly for the SF. That's his next item.
you could go
Skadi? I don't really like Skadi here.
I don't like Skadi either.
I think Butterfly is much better.
you can also just go Daedalus.
Yeah, Daedalus is he needs damage, basically.
Yeah, Daedalus or Butterfly, or MKB, I suppose.
If you know that Medusa is going to be going
Yeah,
for
if he
Butterfly
knows,
soon.
if he's predicting the Butterfly coming soon from the Medusa, then he goes MKB. Next.
This is going to help out pushing down these towers, and it looks like they're going to opt to trade him here. Razor coming into...
Yeah, they want to use their
Okay.
Aegis to fight. And whereas for Fnatic, they just want to dodge until the Aegis expires before they try and take a fight.
Ooh, Ohio ends up getting caught out a little bit. He's
Yep.
going to be chasing.
Should be
Quick,
just
Midas something, Ohio.
Dropping the tombstone as well. Nobody's here to be able to help him out, but it looks like he turned around for
yeah,
a
he
second.
did minus. He dropped his minus on something.
Looks like he's going to try and TP now after Void. Is he going to be able to make it out? No.
That's close.
Here ends up getting the kill.
That
That
was
was.
You got it to Midas off any bot.
His ring and branch, so
Okay.
he didn't lose any gold there.
Pretty nice. So Shadow Fiend now does have the Demon Edge, so...
MKB, yeah.
Be for the MKB. Night Stalker picked up his Aghanims. That's a pretty game-changing item right there in terms of their ability to take the fights that they want. Find the initiation. Deso is now up for DJ as well. Blink Deso, lots of damage. Mushi a little bit caught out to the side. That is a silence immediately onto
they
the
have a
Tusk.
gem.
Oh no, that's terrible. Chain Frost doesn't end up bouncing. Wasn't able to get the disruption off. It does look like they're going to be okay to get out of here for a second, but Mushi's still caught out from the rest of the scene. Yule's down. Darkseer taking a lot of damage. Laguna Blade as well. Not going to be able to get through the mechanism. So close to being taken out there. It does look like he's going to be able to make his way out of there, though. And Fnatic looking in a little bit of trouble.
They're in a lot of trouble. They're losing map control, and like you mentioned, the Night Stalker Aghanims is a game changer right now. It's going to limit a lot of their vision, and they have a gem.
Ooh, Blink forward is going to be able to Yule's on up, but after the Requiem, getting healed by the Soul Rip.
Oh, this looks like a really good position with the Tombstone and the Gaze from the Medusa.
So much damage coming out. This Shadow Fiend is going to end up falling here. Very nicely done. Aegis one time through. We do have Night Stalker in the area, but I don't think that he can come over
Manta
and help.
dodge.
He's going to be able to
Use
get
his
killed.
slay first.
So much damage coming out, and the Shadow
He
Fiend
anticipated
is
the
going to
Manta
fall.
dodge. That's a play.
That is a play.
That's
Such a
good play.
player. Such a player.
Yeah, Yamato was like, "Oh crap, we're gonna dodge the Light Strike."
But even if he dodges the light strike,
I
I
mean,
think he's still died. He's still dead, right? Skadi's slow. He's not running out
for
of that.
practice, Winter. Come on,
Yeah.
you gotta practice dodge.
Force Staff is going to be the option
That
for Shadow
efficiency.
Demon.
That
Bamboo.
efficiency.
So BKB is actually the next item.
Sometimes it will save you, Winter.
I agree. It's always good to always be efficient. Even though threat swapping is like, sometimes it doesn't make a difference, but it's always good. Because
Yeah.
sometimes there might be that one time you actually have just enough
build
mana.
good habits.
Yeah.
Mystic Staff is going to be the item for Darkseer now as well.
Shivas. Yeah.
Getting that extra tankiness up for him.
Where's the vacuum walls been? Can't he just run in after the Stone Gaze and just crush them? Like, why wouldn't you?
They just didn't execute it well with the vacuum. I think with the vacuum you always want to have the vacuum plus the vacuum all the time, because if you look at their heroes, they don't really have anything else. What is coming after the vac? It's only the vacuum.
Chain Frost?
Yeah.
Not really a stun.
Yeah, not really.
Uh,
But why aren't they like? I guess it was mostly that big top fight where he was channeling.
yeah, that was the only time I saw it was close to happening. But so far they didn't really execute the Darkseer plus Shadow Fiend combo very well. We've seen some really great combos across the series that we watch, but this game has to be one of those games that we didn't really see any good combos coming out from the players.
So with the MKB up on the Shadow Fiend, does that change your item selection at all for Medusa at this point?
Maybe, yeah, I think so.
Maybe
AC?
No, you don't like AC.
AC is a good replacement for Butterfly though.
She doesn't really need that much armor though. You don't want AC. If you want survivability, you just take. You get more stats. You get like.
But you buy another Skadi?
You can get
Second
Lincolns.
What does Lincolns do here?
Chain Frost?
Void.
Crippling Fear?
What else can you get?
Don't
you,
think Lincolns is that good.
you can also just get Daedalus. Don't Daedalus or MKB yourself, anticipating butterflies.
I mean, there isn't a ton of damage right now on 1,
Yeah,
2,
I guess
3.
you can go damage.
You can also go Mjolnir.
Oh yeah, I actually like that. Because you have the charge, the static charge on yourself. That is
Yeah.
actually really good on Medusa.
Okay.
And you don't really have to worry so much about the Razor stealing your damage.
It's going to be a sheep stick up on Darkseer.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Generally,
Catch.
you don't want sheep stick though. on-
Yeah, but if you
against
look at their
Medusa.
lineup, they don't have reliable lockdown. Like Vacuum, Void are not really good lockdown, so the Hex will actually give them a way to catch out a single target, remove him from a fight.
But it has to be the Shadow Demon.
Looks like Quarterstaff is going to be
Yeah,
the
I
item
agree.
for Medusa
so
here.
he's going Butterfly still.
Butterfly's the best damage. And survivability in one.
Even
package.
if that's MKB, you feel that Butterfly is still the best.
It's really good versus Razor. You force two
Yeah,
heroes
that's
to
a
get
good point.
MKB for your one item. And you can always just drop it later in case you need it. It's still really good damage on your illusions. Like, what other item? Maybe Daedalus on your illusions is slightly better, but Daedalus is not that great because you
But
don't actually have that much damage.
Isn't
yet.
Butterfly better on illusions? Because
Yeah,
you get
it is.
You get more stats on
And you get
illusions.
evasion on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Butterfly going to be the one for Medusa. I feel like this game has really become just about if they're able to keep this hero alive, and I don't really see a great way for 1, 2, 3 to kill her at this point in time.
It's not even killing. It's like, let's say she's just sitting there farming or like defending a high ground, you can like vacuum her and then you BKB, you run in and you suck a lot of her damage up. She doesn't have that much damage. She's really tanky, but you want to drain her damage with the Razor, and you can actually put her in negative even through Stone Gaze, I feel like, if you get the proper jump on her.
Yeah, even though Fnatic, they have like 3 defensive supports, like the Tusk, the SD, and Undying. But at the end of the day, if you get your Medusa all drained, then it wouldn't matter too much. Oh, Mushi gets a blink out, but the Hex...
Fortunate, going to be able to catch Crippling Fear down as well. Maybe a little bit early. Is going to get vacuumed back one more time. Yule Scepter up.
Wow.
That's going to be able to make him out of there. Nicely done.
Very nice play.
Realizing no Void was going to be coming out. Really well played there. I will also mention, though, that we do see that Fnatic are picking up Force Staffs, at least on the Shadow Demon, so maybe going to be able to force the Medusa away from the
out
static
of the
link.
static link. Yeah, that is a very good point. That is a very important factor to actually remove that from the fight, because that is actually the one thing that could mess up the Medusa's damage output in the fight.
It's all about the static link. But you can kind of like vacuum him back, right?
That's a good point.
They can still kind of play around it.
Yeah, I guess it depends on maybe he forced off after the vacuum or whatnot. So there's still ways to actually avoid that from happening. So we'll see. As long as they don't get the drain, I think that is the most key point that we talk about here. As long as you don't get drained by the Razor, the Medusa should be able to dish out the enough amount of damage to win his team the fight.
Oh, 4 heroes rotating up top now to try and deal with Mushi, but he's realizing game sense. Nobody's on the map. They're probably hunting me, and is going to be able to make his way out
And
of
you
there.
look at their vision as well. They don't really have any wards as well on both of the teams at the moment. I mean, Fnatic have one really defensive ward back at the tier 2, but I guess that's about it. The gem on the Night Stalker. Do they have the gem on the Night Stalker? What? They drop a gem on the ground?
I saw the gem drop on the ground, but I don't...
Night Stalker has one.
Yeah,
it
I mean
looks
for
like
Fnatic. Oh yeah, they just didn't want to bring the gem along, like just in case they drop it in a fight.
AC going to be the item of choice for the Razor here. Does look like they're going to try and push out this bottom lane a little bit, or at least wait for somebody to maybe farm it.
They were hoping that someone would farm it, but little did they know that 1-2-3 is on the opposite side.
They're gonna run into them.
This is a really bad...
Razor is
position for
back
Fnatic.
in base though. This is...
Oh, Ohio, frontliner, is going to be able to pop Darkness now. Black is up in the middle of all of them. Stone Gaze gets dropped, dealing a good amount of damage. Snowball forward onto the Lich. He's going to fall. Dying gets that kill, and they're just going to have to...
They have Darkseer,
re-engage?
though.
This might be a bit of a problem. Lina is going to catch the Razor off to the top. Oh, she's a little bit separated from the rest of her team, though. I don't know if they're going to be able to get here in time. Is going to be able to TP out. Nicely done. Last second getting out of there. Black is caught out slightly, but I think that he's going to be fine. Ohio might fall.
They need to get out. Razor has maximum damage drain, 224.
Nice Force Staff to the high ground now. Looks like Net should be able to
Roshan
cover.
should be on the cards here.
Black is trying to fight. I'm not sure what he's doing right now. Needs to run away. Mushi's here as well. Is going to be able to lay down, but BKB popped for Razor. He's dealing so much damage. No, he didn't end up getting it
Abort.
stolen.
They need to abort mission right now. Minimize casualties. Roshan should be on the horizon for 1, 2, 3 here. They have a lot of damage between their heroes.
At the end of the day, the Undying for the Lich. It does look like they might want to contest this, though. No Stone Gaze. No
Yeah.
Requiem, no Wall, no Vac.
And they have a lot of spam from the SD.
Alright.
They have Blink Scythe.
Ben jumping forward
Blink
is going to get
Sight.
caught out. Oh, nice disruption.
why-
A little bit of miscommunication there. Vacuum back onto 2. Is going to be able to hit the Light
Scythe.
Strike
Oh
Array.
my god, that
There
was
it is.
such
Oh my
a slow
gosh.
side.
That Black taking a good amount, but he is so tanky right now. Is a little bit of trouble, though. Nice Laguna Blade. Going to disrupt the damage seal. Now we also see off to the side here the Tusk bringing the Lina into the snowball. Jumping after the Darkseer, continuing to chase here. Mushi very low, but somehow staying alive through this. Chain Frost is going to finally kill him. BKB is popped for the Shadow Fiend. Not sure if it's going to be enough. Black is so tanky. He doesn't care about anything. Get out of here, scrub.
He cost his team the fight there. I think he should have just used
Blink
his
Sight
scythe
on
early
the-
just to get one kill first and then figure out what will happen there. He was just trying to get a very good vacuum on 2 or 3 heroes there. He was waiting so long.
Lina bought back as well. They're pushing down for this bottom lane. Do we have a buyback on the Shadow Fiend? Yes, we do. Razor does not, though. Looks like they're ready to continue to push here. Roshan is up. Do you feel like that'd be better to go for that one instead?
They want to just make the SF buyback because they used the Lina buyback to even things out.
Undying also is going to be picking up a casual bit booster. Looks like they're trying to chase now. Ohio caught out slightly. Does get sheep sticked up. He might cost his life again.
Yeah, he's going to get ditched.
Oh, poor Ohio. We knew you well.
Life of the support.
Oh, it's frustrating. Vit booster or not, he's still ends
Can
up
they
falling.
proceed in a Roche now with Undying down?
Yeah, I think so. I think they can. They have a lot of damage with the SF and the Razor now, so they're probably going to look to go for it. And it's nighttime with the Night Stalker, so they have the vision control on top of that.
They
So
know that
they
Tusk
should
is
be
here.
pretty confident to take this Roche. I think Chrissy's going to be able to try and maybe stop it or stall it with his sigil.
They are rotating over here, but oh, it's
They
daytime
have
actually.
25 seconds, so nah. Are they not doing it?
Just became daytime, and they saw them moving over to the side here.
I mean, they could get locked in with ice shards into
Way too risky though.
Yeah.
to LSA or
Be-
even Stone Gaze.
BKB charges are starting to fall down now. Also, Shadow Fiend is down to 5. Razor also down to 6. It's beginning to look a little bit better for Fnatic at this point. Like, they've been in a pretty comfortable position and now starting to take the lead. It's just sort of a matter of time when you got this type of farm on Medusa. Do you think that 1, 2, 3 really have a play to be able to go forward from here? Do they try and smoke gank up as 5 and catch out the Medusa? Is that even...
I think
capable
they
of
have to
taking down?
wait for the next night though. They want to have ideally the next night, so they have the vision advantage, and more importantly, make sure they get the combo, the vacuum into vacuum. They have to hit it. I think if they miss another combo, they might actually just lose the game if they miss the next combo and lose the Roshan.
Well, Roshan's still a point of contention here.
Buybacks, everyone has buyback apart from Lina.
Night Stalker, Tusk, and Medusa. Oh my god, tons of damage coming out really
there
quickly.
goes the gem.
Ohio here as well is going to get vacuumed back. There's 2 heroes
Okay,
dead
this
just
is
for
Roche.
nothing.
This is Roche.
All right, nighttime
It's
as
so
well.
hard to fight at nighttime, though. They wanted to get a little bit of vision inside the pit, hopefully looking for a Roshan Jack, but don't you just get Medusa kind of run up? Probably
Yeah.
to get vision.
Medusa should be the first one running up that ramp.
Or you get Manta Illusions to send them in. But they had no information, and they lost a gem immediately.
They were just tilting, I think. So a very risky move because they didn't see any of the 1, 2, 3 heroes on the map. So it was not a good decision to run the supports up.
Hmm.
So as a result, they're going to give away the Aegis, which is on the Razor.
I believe so. Yeah. He's been able to get a
And they're
decent
going to
amount of
force the
farm.
high ground with this. Ice armor and Aegis on Razor, they're really, really tanky now.
All right, well,
And
Stone
AC,
Gaze
of
is
course.
up. All right, here comes a fight right now. Ben is up in the front line, just going to be able to continue to dole out that damage. Shadow Fiend Illusions as well. Looks like they're going to be okay. They did actually end up bringing the Darkseer, excuse me, not the Darkseer, the Lina to the top lane as well to push this on out. Shadow Fiend's going to disengage from the fight up in the bottom lane, and with everybody back up, they're just going to leave it at that.
Still really tense for both teams. Either team could still win with just one victorious team fight on either side.
Remember, this is just game 1 as well. They've got 2 more to play after the fact.
Potentially.
That's true. Potentially 2 more.
What does Medusa go for now? What's the 4th item?
You mentioned Daedalus or MKB. SF doesn't have Butterfly, Razor doesn't have Evasion. Do they have a...
He's going
They
for
don't have
Demon.
Solar Crest on anyone, right? On 1, 2, 3 side. So they don't have anything that provides Evasion.
Although if you're thinking that they might end up going for that later on, it might be worth it just to get for the MKB right now in preparation.
It's just there's not that many great choices.
Yeah.
Your core 3 is always Manta, Scotty Butter, and then it's
Daedalus,
like
but Daedalus MKB after.
Yeah,
Or,
or
Rapier.
Rapier.
Yeah.
sometimes Mjolnir, depending on the situation.
Well, Demon Edge certainly a component of all those, so keeping the options open at least at this point, Medusa. And wanting to save for buyback, probably the most important thing at this point in time in the game. Tusker's going to Walrus Punch a creep, why not?
Does he want a creep for Lotus Orb? I think he finished something. Yep.
Lotus Orb.
So what are the possible stuff? Okay, the Hex is really good
Yeah.
against the Hex. That's number 1. And it removes the silence from Night Stalker. I guess that's negligible. It's gonna reflect the Chain Frost, I guess, and the Void. That's about it. Static and Static Link as well.
I feel like they just need to make sure that when your Medusa is up, that the Medusa is the one in front, because that's been the key component for the last 2 sort of objectives that 1-2-3 have been able to take is that they've been sending the supports in first, and then Medusa's just sort of been behind them, and then they get picked off.
Yeah, that was when they were warding though, not in team fights. But
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. I think in almost every scenario, you want to have Black up front, showing leading the way and giving them vision before they actually try to run the other heroes up.
He's been playing a little bit greedy though. Just wants to keep his gold up and not really sacrifice that for his team at the moment. But as he's approaching more and more items, he needs to help.
Night Stalker
Slot challenged.
is going to have a halberd up as well. This could be really detrimental.
Yeah, because the Medusa doesn't have BKB, so if he doesn't have Manta, he has no way of removing it.
The reveal of
It's-
this, they only need it for one fight,
Yeah.
really.
They need the Lotus Orb to be really on point this game.
All right, Black taking a little bit of damage steal. It's going to
Yep.
be okay so far. The Eye of the Storm was popped for this as well, actually. Been a little bit separated from the rest of his team.
Wow.
All right, waiting for the initiation. The halberd is up now as well. Black taking a good amount, does get crippling feared. Might end up popping the Manta there. We do have the
Oh,
halberd up.
Actually, the MKB would also be good versus the Fear, the miss chance.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
talked
we
about
actually
that.
forgot about that. That's something that we don't usually see come into play, so it slips our mind. But it's something that's really important to note, that the MKB will actually help against that, even though they don't have any evasion of sorts.
You can manta it.
Yeah, but he wants to like Mantas like
Yeah,
a lot of
split
things,
the
and he want to push out the lane. So I guess having the MKB would just make sure that he doesn't have that problem all the time.
It's feeling like this Night Stalker is really important in these fights here, like being able to lay down the Crippling Fear, being able to lay down the Heaven's Halberd, having the vision advantage with the Agnums, all of these things. If Night Stalker falls, it becomes a lot more difficult, I feel like,
Yeah,
for 1-2-3.
I think the moment he sees the MKB on the Medusa, your fear should be almost always reserved on the SD. I guess the SD or the Lina, or even the Undying or the Tusk. Those heroes are more important silence targets to stop them from getting a crucial spell off. Oh my god,
That Lich was playing far forward. Walrus Punch ends up connecting Laguna Blade as well. That's going to be a kill. Night Stalker now on the other side. Can they catch him? Ned is over here as well. That's going to be the Eye of the Storm popped for Ben. Laguna Blade has already been used. Ohio did drop the Tombstone as well. It's fallen really quick. Soul Rip to keep it alive. Now we have the Shadow Fiend
Oh no,
dropping
he
really
didn't
low.
pop his
So
BKB.
many zombies on him. BKB's popped in the end, but not going to be enough.
Oh my god.
Medusa gets that kill. Is this going to be the one that they need? Light Strike Array onto the Darks here. There's a Walrus Punch follow-up as well as the Snowball. Going to drop really low, and that's another kill as well. Shadow Fiend is dead for 100 seconds. He does have buyback now. If they force buyback onto these two heroes at least, this could be huge.
That is really, really bad. They had the vision advantage from Night Stalker, and he saw the Lina coming in with the stun, and he still didn't get his BKB off. That was really bad for them.
All right, buyback for Darks here. Do you push here to try and get the Shadow Fiend to buyback?
Yeah.
again?
Yes,
You definitely go for the buyback, to force the buyback.
80 seconds. It seems like they're going to have to do it unless they want to sack this lane of racks at this point. Up in the front, AC and BKB, not really enough. There's the Force Staff away to keep away from the damage steal.
I think with Dusa at this point, you get next to Aegis, you get Rapier, and you end the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to finish your MKB, I think.
She's getting close to Rapier levels as well.
Only
Just
need
get-
Rapier. Then you
yeah.
won't have room for Aegis.
So yeah, he doesn't have. Yeah, you're right. He
Alright.
only has one room for one item and Aegis.
Darkness falls. Ben still stealing a lot of damage. Is going to be able to get Force Staffed again. It looked like they were trying to keep it in play with the Lich Force Staffing forward, but might have just been to keep him alive. Night Stalker far forward again. They're not going to be able to force this with the Shadow Fiend, it looks like. They're going to be able to take down the Tier 3 tower, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get more. Lotus Orb still hasn't been popped out onto Black yet. There's the Vacuum Wall onto 4. There's the buyback on the Shadow Fiend as well. Not able to hit the combo, though. Now as well, they're going to pop the Stone Gates. That's a Chain Frost hitting onto several heroes, but Black is so tanky right now. And not really enough damage follow-up for 1-2-3. It looks like they want to continue to chase. Night Stalker going to hit the Void, but no, actually he's going to be able to get caught out by Mushi. He falls, though, and the Shadow Fiend is surged up. He is ready to rumble. Black Lotus Orb still getting chased down here. BKB is not up again for the Shadow Fiend. He has already used it. Snowball onto the Lich off to the side. They're going to keep the Walrus Punch down. He is dead. Maybe the turnaround. If they can get a dieback onto the Shadow Fiend, this could be game right now. He ends up falling. Now the turnaround by Fnatic. 2 heroes are dead. Medusa gets the kill there, and they're all separated. This could be it. They're all so low as well.
Oh no, don't lose a gem.
Oh, The buyback on the Lina as well. It feels like they know that this is the time to go.
So they're gonna lose like what, 2 sides of Rex? Maybe even, can they throw this with 80 seconds on the Shadow
If Black buys out, I think he can. He's actually really low on mana though, only 400 mana, but no SF, so.
Rapier plus Moon Shots?
Yeah, I think so. If you want to end the game right now, I think that's what you do.
Looks like they're just going to keep going for Rax and play the slower game. They're in a comfortable position in terms of these team fights, I feel like. There's not a ton of damage here. But Medusa does have 8,500 gold on her.
Even
Definitely.
2 rapiers?
Potentially, that's the play, I think. Oh, so much damage.
That's kind of a
coming
cool combo though, Undying Tombstone plus Stone Gaze.
Yeah. You slow him on down. Oh, God. Ben is going to end up getting taken out. Medusa ends up getting the kill. Razor buys back immediately. They need him to be able to keep this alive, but I'm feeling like it's just a bit of too much at this point. So much gold on Black, though. If they're able to get a kill on him now, this would be huge, but they don't really have the damage follow-up to be able to take it. Nina looks to be buying a BKB as well. Everybody's just got so much gold now. Shadow Demon with 3,000 gold on him. Crimson Guard on the Undying, who's been just completely and totally poor this whole game. And that's another buyback used as well.
Black, do it, buy the rapier.
I want to see it.
He's gonna get the Aegis before he does anything. But he actually has enough. Like, does he even want the Aegis at this point? He has enough gold to actually finish 2 items.
Yes.
Then you don't want boots, then you finish 2 items. Do you think it's better that way? Then you get more value out of your Aegis.
I think you get someone to hold your boots, and then you get the Aegis.
Well, he's dropping his Aquila at least.
Yeah, he's gonna get Rapier.
Oh, baby.
He can sell his boots and get a second one.
Dropping the
rapier
Manta
in there.
style.
Okay.
Alright, that's fine too.
All right. Well, this is terrifying. The Snake Lady has officially become Rapier Lady.
You can sell your phase and get BOTs and start pushing right now and start sieging the high ground. You want to push before Shadow Fiend has his buyback up, which is only 4 more minutes. It's not that big of a deal, but you'll take everything that you can get in the next few minutes.
So how do you kill this Medusa at this point? Do you have enough damage on any of these heroes?
I don't think they have
No.
enough damage because the moment they try and kill her with their BKBs,
It's Stone Gaze.
Stone Gaze. Whenever she has Stone Gaze, there's no way you kill her. And if you want to hex and initiate, there's always Lotus Orb to actually remove the hex and enable the Medusa to get her.
Even if she was
Stone
hexed
Gaze.
like twice, I don't think that you can kill her.
She doesn't have buyback right now, but she does have the Aegis up.
Hex her twice in a row? I don't think they have enough damage.
Under the Requiem and Static Lane.
She has like 4,500 damage. And
Yeah.
you can just defensively disrupt. Like they have, or Snowball. They have so many ways to prevent a Medusa from being focused down that she should always be able to get off Stone Gaze. Always no asterisks. no,
I
situation.
agree. We talk about them having a lineup that protects the Medusa very well.
Okay, here she goes.
Ready to go. These catapults are
Oh my.
quite sad. Look at that damage. Lotus Orb on top of her as well. She is not afraid of a damn thing. They are going to as well catch off to the side. Oh, Shadow Demon actually is going to end up going down, so getting a little bit picked apart here. Does it actually end up mattering, though? BKB is popped. Oh, is he actually going to go down? Defensive Disruption going to keep him alive. They're still going to chase off to the side here. Snowball forward. Oh, the Shadow Demon did end up falling. Medusa, meanwhile, off to the side is just going to be able to kill everybody. Gem is down on the ground. Looks like with 2 heroes dead at this point in time.
Black actually toggles the split shot too when he's just focused on single targets.
What a player.
Yes, it's not that much of a micro because you don't have to do that
Efficiency
much.
at
But
its
it's,
best.
it's efficient.
There you go.
It's a lot
Buybacks
more
across
damage.
the board. This might be their swan song at this
Ben
point.
was on board with the efficiency.
Yeah. He turned it off when he was attacking the tower.
That's right.
Toggle it more, Black.
Oh, it's too good. Toggle for me, baby. Oh, gonna chase after. Net's back over here again. Does look like they're gonna be able to find the Shadow Fiend, but DJ just hanging out over here. A little bit off to the side, but I guess that really at the end of the day, you're hitting on these barracks right now. They're not afraid
Why
at
don't
all.
they just all sit behind Black?
Oh, Vacuum gonna come out in a second. Maybe
Oh,
Wallace
there's no-
down. He's
there's no
stealing all
false
his
stop this
damage.
time.
What's going on? Ben is dealing a ton there. Laguna Blade is gonna end up finishing him off. Walrus Punch as well. That's gonna be the Shadow Fiend trying to take out the rest of the team off to the side. Ghost Scepter by Ohio, keeping him alive. This is gonna be a dead Shadow Fiend in just a second. You are stealing the damage, but at the same time, Mood Shard is up, and he's got so much of it that I don't think is ever
that
gonna
has
go
to be
down.
game.
GG ends up getting called. Fnatic with the Medusa strat end up taking that one.
Man, this is not even about the Medusa strat. It's about how the game actually, how the game actually progressed from the start to finish. It was so rocky for even both teams
Yeah.
were really shaky. A lot of very bad decision making from both sides. But at the end of the day, Fnatic made it count when it actually mattered the most. And even 1-2-3 had a really good start, but their lineup really doesn't have any good way of actually killing the Medusa, because Medusa has a lot of defensive teammates, and whenever you face against that, you want to have maybe a support silencer to actually remove all those defensive spells.
I feel like they just didn't use the Razor enough. Like the Razor and the SF, they didn't like really fight together. Like SF got caught out a couple of times, and you want to be able to just jump in on the Medusa.
Yeah, I think they didn't use their window of advantage.
It wasn't
good
that
enough.
big, but it was still big enough considering their good early.
It was
game.
good enough. I think the
Yeah.
Darkseer SF, and it was also partly the Darkseer didn't actually landed the vacuum with the Shadow Fiend.
Or the Blink Scythe at that
yeah,
time.
the crucial moment where they had to make their combos work together, the chain force as well. We didn't even see any good combinations.
I don't know what they were waiting for. They they got their BKBs and then
No, they lost their fight with the BKB.
they lost.
because they wasted the BKB charge on unnecessary situations, and they lost the fight.
And then after that, they were just like, okay, well, what do we do now?
Then they went back to farming, because you just lose fights. So as a natural reaction to that, you try not to rush things, but at the same time, because of the lineup purposes,
You have to rush things.
they had to finish the game early
Yeah.
against Medusa.
Hmm.
And even Lina is also a huge problem for the heroes that are relying on BKB, because Lina is going to have an Aghanim at some
So
point in the game.
it's just better to tank up. I don't think the BKB was
So you would
it's
have-
useless for Stone.
You would have actually preferred maybe you go SNY first, and then you build a BKB later into the game, or even not build a BKB at all.
Yes, I think not building a BKB is fine.
Do you think a mech might have been a better option there for the Shadow
Yeah,
Fiend?
we were
Either going
discussing
for the
that. It's
fight?
like mech on Shadow Fiend, mech SNY on Shadow Fiend, and then something else for Darkseer. Like
Darks-
even Blink Rushes, I think is fine.
Right.
Because they're always going to be huddling around the Medusa to save her from getting focused down. You try and force out some cooldowns by static leaking her. If they try and save her, you blink, you vacuum,
But
and then you
Darkseer
wall.
doesn't have any good items to build this game if he's not building the mech. After the
Blink.
blink, then you
You
get
can go
Crimson Guard.
you can go Glimmer Cape for the Lina because she didn't get Scepter until really late. Okay, that's
Oh yeah, that Glimmer Cape is good this game. Yeah,
Yeah.
You can also go Crimson Guard. Crimson Guard's really good versus the Medusa. I think there were other options than doing the standard and not playing it out beforehand to just really cause maybe a little bit of confusion and not having that window be as big as possible.
Yeah, I agree. I think if they actually have gone for the mech on Shadow Fiend, they would have actually had the mech a lot faster,
Yeah.
because Darkseid didn't actually get the mech really quick. So that would have actually put them maybe a little bit more ahead at the early stages, which would probably have allowed them to actually take the towers faster.
Yeah. And maybe a Scepter on Razor too to try
Yeah,
and take
maybe.
the
Oh, yeah.
towers. Something
There's
like
a lot
that.
of possibilities that they actually, but the Scepter on Razor might not be the biggest difference
Yeah.
maker. I just felt like it was just the earlier stages of the game where they didn't capitalize on their advantage enough.
They just let Medusa farm.
So I
What
guess
you want?
we're gonna be going